All right, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Lightning Thunderbolt here, and as you can see, we are here analyzing the Sonic Frontiers story trailer. Normally, I wouldn't be doing any more of like the news on Frontiers, but since they did finally release some bits of cyberspace in this trailer, I figured we'd go ahead and announce it. Just a quick update on things going on the YouTube channel. Just want to apologize for the fact that the Project 06 stream has not been uploaded yet. I'm actually collaborating with someone to polish things up and make it look real nice for y'all, so that might be a little bit late. Expect some Sonic Adventure content on the channel this week, but since this just dropped and I've been analyzing the majority of the Sonic Frontiers content, I just wanted to, go ahead and just see what this trailer was, because we got a little bit more info on the story. We got the release date. And we got our first look at cyberspace, but we got a look at a couple of other interesting details here. So we're just going to go ahead through, analyze this real quick, and expect some more gameplay content from long-awaited series on this channel to return sometime this week or on the weekend. But let's go ahead and get right into it. So this is on the official Sonic the Hedgehog YouTube channel, by the way. That's where we're watching it. It was released today at Gamescom, I believe. A lot of people streamed it, but just wanted to analyze and see what we have here. I've watched it through once. Just going to go back and see if we can see some details. So we got the Sonic Team logo. This is... I don't know. It's just... First off, since these were like thought to be like the Chow substitutes or like the rock core guys, just think of the fact that it goes hi and like that distorted voice right away. It just... I don't know. I'm like, of all things you could have it say, like, I guess it's saying it's cooing, but I'm like, it's a little strange. But anyway, get our first look at these guys. Graphics look actually quite good. I think this is CGI. We all know who that is. We saw that enemy before. Sonic jumps in, saves it.
Submit. Your reckless actions endanger the world.
So we get our first look at Sage here, who is the AI. And this is her manifestation, I suppose. Yeah, a lot of people are speculating it's like, oh, is this some other variation of Infinite? But I don't really think this is. What you're pretty much going to see based on the story is... Well, I'll just let you watch it all the way through first. But I don't know. Like, first off, just got to say, Sage's voice so far, graphics and voice acting looking pretty good so far, just with what we've seen. So...
Submit. Your reckless actions endanger the world.
Definitely an interesting villain. So then Sonic's going into the cyberspace worlds. We got our first look at this. All right, so here's like the more metropolitan highway type thing. Let's go ahead and then look at this a bit slower. So we got our view of the screenshot. Here's like the it's a bit blurred in this quality. I apologize, but yeah. So we get our look up here. A couple of branching pathways. And, yeah, this looks like... Is he gonna, like, vault over that? We don't even know. Like... Dash rings... Yeah, it looked like with the momentum he was just... So that's... Okay. See, the thing that I'm a little concerned about with this is, like, it seems like a lot of these rushing highways in the background, this mind-bending, cool-looking stuff, it looks like, unfortunately, it is just background stuff. Because the paths are like pretty linear, which makes it seem like Sonic Dash with the cyberspace levels, and it's like, why? Here's Sky Sanctuary, pretty much just as linear as we thought. And this is shameless. Like, look at this. This is literally just like it's just modern Sonic Green Hill from Generations. Like it's 2D level design and it's modern Sonic Green Hill from Generations. Like, I'm sorry, but that's not new. Like, if you're going to show us Green Hill, it's like, oh, but it's Sunset now. Show us a new section of the level. Like, I get the whole thing, like, hey, reusing certain sections, like, remember this, like, but it seems kind of cheap in that sense. But I'm not really criticizing the whole thing. I'm actually relatively hopeful with what we saw. Not really of the cyberspace stages, because when you see this bit of cyberspace, you do like just a brief view here, because we've seen all this already. We've seen the screenshots of this. This was in the leaked footage. This is just Jen's Green Hill. So my whole thing with this is like, on one hand, it's like, yeah, we've just got like rehashed levels, and it seems pretty linear and 2D. and they're kind of just emulating hard light and doing Sonic Dash type stuff. So that's kind of bad in that sense on one hand, but like on the other hand, it's like these are kind of supposed to be taking a nod from colors and being like the short little bite-sized levels as like because the special stages aren't actually more simple than the standard stages. So if like Sonic's if the special stages are just using aesthetic like reusing old aesthetic, like I guess that's okay if you look at them as special stages, but I feel like it's like are we supposed to look at these as special stages, in which case it's like yeah, I guess they'd be a bit more interesting. But if we're looking at them at like as like adventure style action stages, then it's like, yeah, no, I'm not really that impressed by it. But I think the thing is like this is where most of the speed-based platforming is, and the exploration and combat is in the open world. But here's the thing: I think the selling point of this game, why this part is going to actually be okay, is because the selling point is the combat, and we saw some improvements to the combat that we hadn't seen before in the brief snippets we did get. So take a look ahead. I forgot to talk about this bit here. Look carefully at the boost trail here. Do you remember in the interview? Let me go back to this screenshot. Like if you go to this screenshot, I don't know if this is just updated for it, but remember how Sonic just had like a simple dash, but there was the IGN individual. His name is escaping me at the moment. I apologize, but yeah, this is the IGN individual mentioned that when you get maximum possible rings for your health meter, that you gain some like super blue boost, sort of like how in Legend of Zelda, Link gains like the energy beam ability for like the Master Sword and everything. But yeah, no, it's kind of interesting they're doing that. My question is this just a slightly faster boost or one you can hold indefinitely, which is okay, or does it actually have a hitbox? Because if it does, that would give some utility to collecting rings and gaining energy. That would be pretty cool. I'm also kind of hoping that for replay value, we'll see Supersonic playable in the open world, because that would be a godsend, pretty much a must. It makes me question, though, how would he play? It's like, I guess there'd be no shortage of rings that you would be able to collect. But maybe your rings wouldn't drain in the open world and they would in the cyberspace levels. I don't know. But, it's interesting to think about. But anyway, we have the boost here. Graphics are looking pretty good. So this is the second island. So if you look at this, there's like it's a wall jumping segment. So if we look at all the islands they displayed here, this is the Kronos Island, the first one they revealed, I think. I don't know if this is the desert island, but this is more of a beach looking aesthetic. This looks like the desert island, which is like the new island they revealed, the Wastelands maybe. This is still Kronos Island. Here, again, using the same assets, I guess. This is like the desert island, or maybe this is a mountainous region? I don't know. Please tell me there's a glacier region. I want there to be like a winter stage in this. That would be really cool. So then so with the wall jumping, remember how I don't think it's an actual wall jumping mechanic where you have to lean. I'm pretty sure if you're close enough to a spring, you will lock on. So that does make this segment a little bit automated, but I think it will still look pretty cool and feel like you're actually doing something. Because it seems like with these surfaces, Sonic can stick to them, climb on them, run up them. So the thing is, like, it looks like it gets launched to this, and it's like you automatically cling when you are near them, you attach to them, but now he's locked onto the spring. So remember, it was revealed that, I think if you tap, just like for a PS4 controller, like square, if you tap square, then you'll immediately do an instant homing attack. So I think it's wall cling, square, wall cling, square. So that's what that is. But anyway, yeah, and just so you guys know, I am planning on getting this game when it releases for PC. I did check the specs, which are on Steam right now. From what it looks like, I do have enough PC specs and gigs and storage to be able to run this, so that's definitely good. Because, it would be a safe bet to run it on my PS4, but then again, you guys wouldn't get the audio quality or length of stream content. We'd have to do it in 1 hour segments if it was PS4. So Frontiers I wanted to bring to PC, and it looks like I'm going to be able to do that for you all, so that's definitely good to know. All right, now this one, pay attention, because this was, in the leaks, in the brief things we've heard about the story. That is definitely Amy. In the pre-order bonuses that it was saying, which in my opinion isn't really worth it from what they said on Steam, but there are memory shards for Tails, Knuckles, and Amy that you're collecting during the story. So apparently that is probably to save them and restore them, or I guess free them from these capsules. But so listen carefully here. This is the interesting thing because I've said this about Roger before. I think it is still Roger as Sonic. And Roger's a perfectly fine individual. He's a perfectly fine voice actor. I mean, the dude did Ezio and a lot of other really great voices. But here's the thing. I've never really thought Roger has made a great Sonic. He hasn't convinced me of that. But most people have been saying, well, listen, it was just the old writers, Pontek and Graff. We have Flynn writing now, and that's good. And with Flynn's writing, Roger could probably do better and get different voice direction. And I'm like, hey, look, if I am proven wrong, and everyone else who's saying that is right about that, and that happens to be the case, I will gladly eat my words. I would love for Roger to be able to do a good Sonic. And then I heard this. Take a listen. It does sound like Roger to me, but like it sounds like he's trying to emulate the more expressive, more emotionally like intelligent or serious. It emulates that Jason Griffith tone, like the emotionally serious tone from Black Knight, which I like. And remember, what did I say? Like we've been seeing, like just a sort of side tangent here. I did in fact like tell you guys. Remember, like it's like Kishimoto is directing this, right? And he directed Black Knight. It would make sense if we get a more serious story here. So I'm hoping that they let Flynn do his thing. From what we're seeing, since it's like Sonic's friends are captured, it's literally a like. I mean, you look at this shot. It's like it's Sonic is isekai to another world. He's and he has to. It's like Amy is essentially. It's like he has to save the princess type thing, right? Like that's kind of the scenario they're putting him in. But the thing is like even though it's a tried and true trope, it hasn't been done as much as I think we'd like to see it in Sonic. And frankly, if there is any trope to give to Sonic, that's the trope we want to see. So this is all good. I'm glad we're seeing this. I'm glad Sega is taking this direction because these are all positive things. And a lot of people have also said, like, you look at Sonic and listen.
Amy, is that you?
Sorry. Not only there's like, I mean, I do think this is a CGI cutscene here. If it's in game, this is pretty amazing. But the graphics are looking fantastic. They're doing a really great job. And that's some good detail on the enemies. Not gonna lie. But you see stuff like this, and it makes you really hopeful because for the story, it seems like they're giving Flynn the creative freedom he needs, and they're trying to help express his creative vision, which is a definite plus. I'm a huge fan of the Archie comics, the IDW comics, so I love the idea that they're giving Flynn this creative freedom. That's fantastic. And again, you see in this scene where Sonic says, "Amy, is that you?" Like with it, he seems a lot more expressive in this shot. A lot of people were pointing out the characters seem more expressive in this, and that's good. That's good, Sega. That's good. We want that. Keep doing this. This is a good direction we go in. We're liking this. But you just listen to Roger's voice one more time. I know I'm obsessing over this a bit, but you listen to this because, like, to me, Roger has never really sounded like Sonic. But if this right here, if this is the tone he uses for the entire story. Did you hear it? Did you hear how that sounded? Like that right there, Roger, if that's you, that's it. That is how Sonic is supposed to sound. That's how he is supposed to sound. Do that. Do that for literally the entire tone of the story. Like the grunts for like the attacks, like the voice of everything. That's how Sonic is supposed to sound. Do that. Because like whoever's giving Roger the voice direction, if this is like Roger's doing it, if this is his director, if this is Ian Flynn, whatever it is, like this tone right here.
Amy, is that you?
Yeah, that's how he's supposed to sound. That is how Sonic is supposed to just, beautiful, delicious. Like, it's one clip. We can't judge the whole thing on that, but that's how he's supposed to sound. Because it's like, it still sounds like Roger, but it sounds like he's actually taking the character seriously. He's like respecting like the fact that like Griffith's style before him, and he's also like keeping the integrity of his own style as Sonic, which I didn't think could sound good, but in this sense, it does. When he doesn't try to overdo the like cocky attitude of Sonic and tries to emote more, whatever he's doing right there, that's good. I know I'm just obsessing over this, listening to it one more time, but expressiveness of the characters, tone, like voice direction here, Like Ian Flynn, if this is your doing, beautiful. And Roger, keep this up because this is the tone we want to hear. I gotta say, it's one clip. I can't like fully judge it and say, yeah, you're a better Sonic now. But if this is the tone you use through the entire story, just beautiful.
Maybe. Is that you?
And then we get like a look at the combat. We saw that move before, but yeah, and it's like because it sounds not only that this version of Roger Sonic, if it is Roger Sonic, is more expressive. It's sounding like he genuinely cares about Amy and understands how dire the situation is, and it's like and again, it gives you the idea like the story gives you the vibes of okay, it's in cyberspace, so what Sonic is isekai'd into a virtual world or a different world and all of his friends are captured, and it's like a save the princess and his best friends type scenario. And it's like maybe it's an overdone trope, but frankly, I like the idea of that being done in Sonic because if there is a trope to overdo in Sonic, these kinds of stories work for Sonic. They worked before. This is what fans liked. So Sega, good on you. Do more of this. Do more of this. Anyway, now we get a look at some of the combat. Psyloop. Okay, now whatever that was hardcore. Let me see that again. Like, because I look at the, it looks like there's more effects on the combat here. Yeah, that's definitely more combat. Punches seem snappier. It seems like the Psyloop is pretty much just as fast as it was before. It felt pretty good. Yeah, that seems pretty good. Now, whatever this move is, if this is an update to the old tornado animation we saw, use this one. But whatever this move is, this is cool. I would like, me likey. I want to unlock this one. It seems like the enemy, and it does seem like it's like, the combat to me feels like the main attraction, right? Because it feels like, Sonic can act out of almost any maneuver. It's like, I feel like my final judgment of the game, if it's going to come out like this, is like, the exploration might be a bit monotonous. I feel like the cyberspace levels are going to be a bit too linear. I feel like there's not going to be enough branching pathways. They'll be like, tiered as in terms of top, middle, bottom, like classic Sonic rather than spread out, like Adventure, like they should be. But, if there's enough content in the game to keep us interested, then it's like the momentum of application, if there's not enough momentum and the cyberspace stages are too linear, it shouldn't matter that much. Because I know I said it's important, but that was assuming that they would make it the length of, say, Sonic Forces, and we don't know that yet, so it's too early to tell. However, if there's enough content and replay value, and the combat system is as enticing as it is, because I feel like the appeal of the combat system is going to be Sonic can act out of almost anything, fighting the enemies isn't going to be brain dead, and that's like the exciting part, upgrading Sonic, unlocking new maneuvers and stuff like that. If that's the appeal, they realized that Sega has been listening to the idea that Sonic can't just have, run in a straight line and have homing attack. Like, he needs more than that. Yeah, he's fast, but what good is speed if you can't control it? See, the combat system to me screams controlled speed. It's a creative application of Sonic's speed to use his speed in like different senses. And to me, that's the main appeal of why Frontiers looks interesting to me. As it gets closer and closer, it's looking more interesting. It's going to depend on application of the combat system, the story, which I feel like is going to be solid if they let Flynn do his thing, and Roger continues with this better voice direction, and of course if the combat is interesting and it's like they offer enough like freedom of movement and it's not like brain dead combat. So that is and of course there's enough replay value if I hadn't already mentioned that. So those are going to be the factors that will, I think, make it so that things like momentum and level design in the cyberspace stages wouldn't matter as much. If there's enough content and it's like good enough to like really amazing, then the few minor details won't matter as much. Because momentum does matter in a Sonic game, but it doesn't matter as much if there's enough fluidity of movement and speed and freedom in the combat system, if that's the main appeal, and if there's enough quality content on that. But if not, then like I'm gonna need to see like more momentum in Sonic's movement because otherwise it's gonna get boring real fast. Like stuff like that can be masked with more appealing content from other aspects of the game, but there needs to be enough of that to keep players engaged. And again, I'm since money talks, I'm talking from the not only the knowledgeable aspect of a fan, Sega, but from the purchaser's point of view, from the consumer's point of view. I have a stake in this because I'm planning on purchasing this game. So, what can you offer me that I haven't seen before? And I think I speak for a majority of the fans and consumers when I say that. So, look at this. Okay, we saw that move. We heard a brief clip of Roger right there. It sounded a little bit better. You know, the grunt scope will probably sound okay. It depends on the different voice direction. So with this, it looks like with this he spins fast enough to, I guess, make after images, or is this his version of like shadow clones or whatever? So he does that, and then he launches them in an attack. This looks like a pretty interesting attack. So I guess it's like a multi-hit or like a heavy attack. We're not sure. Bosses. I mean, I guess this is a boss. I don't know. There's a lot of different enemies. The enemy variety is what I'm interested in. I like the design. It's looking kind of arena-based in this sense, but you know, if they keep like the bosses interesting, like some are like run along the tail and hit the main area. Some of them are arena-based. Like it could make it interesting, where like you could apply combat and apply speed. I think if the bosses are arena-based, that's okay because it allows you to use Sonic speed for combat. And if you have to be creative and it's not button mashy, see with bosses, it's like, what's the main problem with arena bosses, right? It could get button mashy because you just rinse and repeat and do the same thing over and over. If there's like some final QTE type thing where it's like do a button combo to finish him off and Sonic does some like insane, like extra special boss finishing move, that would be really cool. Especially if it's not automated and it gives control to the player. Like, I'd like that, but we'll see how that goes. Silence to make it weak. We have a spin slash. Secrets of the Ancients. All right, this is kind of interesting here. So this is giving me, and again, because Kishimoto worked on Black Knight and Secret Rings, and you can kind of tell he's pulling from the good aspects of that. Like, the stakes were high in Secret Rings, because if you remember, Sonic was shot with like that flame arrow spell from Eraser Jin that was draining his life force. And if you didn't bring him the World Rings in time, Eraser would kill him, right? So then you look at this, and it's like when Sonic is in this world, it looks like there's like this corruption probably from Sage. And when you think about this, Flynn's writing the story, right, guys? So when you think about this, what does this look like to you? Sonic is getting partially corrupted by a computer virus, maybe? Virus. Metal virus? Like the Metal Virus arc in the comic books? Like, dude, if he's doing that, that is a really creative way to bring a very good story into the games in like a different and unique enough way. Like, that's incredible, and I love the idea that he's doing that. But yeah, that seems to be what that is. So if I'm right about that, you know, I'll like call it ahead of time right here. But yeah, I mean, like that to me is looking interesting. The story and combat are looking very strong right now. From what little we've seen, it's still a bit early to tell, but I'm feeling more confident looking at this. Trying not to get too overzealous in terms of what I'm predicting, but what we're seeing here does look solid, and wow, the graphics look amazing. And given that my PC is designed for gaming, it should be able to run this just fine, so we'll get that high quality.
You cannot run forever. Leave immediately.
Definitely good voice acting there. I like Sage's voice. Yeah, the characters are looking much more expressive. Sonic looks like he's taking it seriously. This big box looks pretty cool. Alright, there's the logo. And yep, yeah, as you can see, so as of the systems, it's 4, PS4, PS5, Xbox Series XS, 1, Nintendo Switch. And yep, there's Steam right there. It doesn't list it on the pre-order bonuses, which is next, but it does look like we can still pre-order it. I guess they just forgot to put it there, but no, this is the official trailer from the Sonic the Hedgehog YouTube page. So it's saying Steam. It is on Steam, so it's probably fine. It's all on Steam. We're all good to go. But yeah, so that was what was there to analyze. There's the logo, confirmed on Steam. And here is the release date, November 8th, 2022. I'm kind of glad that it's, you know, that's going to be like early November. I'm glad that it's before that holiday rush. That feels like a decent time. We will be streaming this on the release day. I mean, nothing short of me like getting sick, God forbid, will stop us from like actually streaming on that release date. But yeah, the November 8th seems like good timing, so we should have no problem streaming this when it comes out. Definitely tune into the Twitch channel, Lightning Thunderbolt Live, when we do stream this, because I'll be curious to see, what's there. And then here's the pre-order bonuses that they're talking about. So yeah, and here's the official box art. Looks like it looks pretty clean. So the pre-order bonuses, it's seeming to say, is so it looks like they're not stamina points. I forget if it was Sam or Premi or there was another YouTuber who had said that these might be skill points, and it looked like they were correct about that. So these things that we thought were like eggs or something, so apparently they're seeds. That's a weird thing to call them, but so the blue ones upgrade Sonic's defense, the red ones up his power and or offense, I'm assuming. So, I mean, to me, it's like that's just if you want like a head start on the game. But to me, I'm like, I don't mind like unlocking it, from base level. Like, it would be more interesting that way, because in that case, I would likely miss more content that's in there. So, as long as it's not too grindy, it's fine. Um, I feel like this is the culmination of Secret Rings and Black Knight's skill tree system that was like kind of in prototype in Secret Rings and Black Knight, and it looks like it's like we don't know for sure, but based on how it seems to be arranged and how you would upgrade it from what we've heard, it feels like Kishimoto might actually be hitting his rhythm here. The level design for cyberspace is probably the weakest point right now. But if we look at them as actual special stages, it's like whatever, I guess. The lack of momentum is a little bit which could make the exploration a bit lackluster and bland. But if there's like constant things to keep us interested, like discovering new areas and fighting enemies in interesting and engaging ways, that it's not just button mashy, then that's a definite plus. So yeah, the length of gameplay, the amount and quality of gameplay, the replay value, and the depth of the combat system. If those are all strong, then no. Even as an adventure fan, I don't think the lack of momentum would matter that much. Just because they're like, yes, this doesn't have the momentum of the classics, but look at all this other stuff you can do that does feel like Sonic can achieve flow state using his speed through combat rather than platforming, which to me is fine. Um, then I it could be passable if the stages were boost oriented. But they're gonna need to like really capitalize on those strong points, which is the combat system, the story. Which if they let Flynn do what he's doing, then that's that'll be good. And then of course the replay value and the amount and quality of content. But yeah, that's what I would think is what to look out for here. But yep, there's the pre-order bonus. I think that's all there was to the trailer. They have the SEGA logo at the end of it, right? That's it. Still don't like that new sound. I'm sorry, but yeah, but yeah, I guess the main appeal is like liking the direction the story is going in. Like Sega, let Flynn keep doing his thing. It seems like the team has a solid idea of what they're doing. This is definitely better marketing so far. The CGI is looking good, and of course, like Sage's voice actor is good, and Sonic. We listened to this take with Sonic again.
Amy, is that you?
Yeah, I mean, I think it is Roger, but it does sound like a different voice direction. And all I'm saying is, if this is Roger, whoever did Sonic here, this sounds right. Please, please, please have the consistency and the decency to make Sonic sound like this for the entire adventure. If this is Roger and he makes Sonic sound like this, like he actually cares, and Sonic seems like, an actual character with expressiveness, emotional intelligence, and personality, I will absolutely, gladly eat my words on the whole thing of like, oh, Roger isn't a good Sonic. If you can prove me wrong with this game, Roger, I will gladly take back the whole you can't do a good Sonic thing. Like, yeah, you know what? It's like I'm getting overly excited about this, but like that's one good clip right there. And since they're advertising this for like, this is the new Sonic for the new game, it's like, yeah, let's see how the consistency is. We'll see how it goes. But but yeah, that pretty much sums up everything I wanted to say. So yeah, this is probably going to be the last trailer analysis of Sonic Frontiers. I'll obviously put a link to the original video in the description if you want to go watch it for yourself. Um, and with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed the content. We're going to go ahead and plan to bring you guys some more Sonic Adventure content and Chow content within the next 2 weeks. Sage drops in September, so expect to see a lot of fan game content then. Um, although we've actually played a lot of the really interesting games there. Although I did see Sonic FGX Ultimate had a pretty huge update, so we'll probably be running that one too. And yeah, other than that, let me know what you guys think below for the Sonic Frontiers trailer, for the story trailer. Are you more excited for the game? Less excited? Are you more hopeful? What more would you like to see? Um, do you guys still think that momentum is that important, or will Sega provide enough content that even if there's not as much momentum, there will be enough freedom of movement for Sonic that it won't matter as much? Because me, I'm a diehard adventure fan, but if the combat gives me enough freedom of movement and there's enough content there, then and quality, then I'm not going to complain too much about lack of momentum if they have another mechanic that is comparable, just as good, and keeps me engaged with the game. So yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. Not sure when the PO6 stream will be uploaded, but we'll let you guys know that soon. Anyway, this is Lightning Thunderbolt signing off. Thanks for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. And until next time, as always, keep on staying way past cool.